Now, friends, Indian family is definitely, going through a crack. I just want to place before you some of the family trends today. Now, this is basically, I'm just going to run through some statistics, and then I'm going to give you some time to talk about these statistics in your own table group. It's all there in your handout. If you want to make some notes, you can do that. But otherwise, just listen to these statistics, and I want you to look at how is it in your church as a result of going through this. Now, we know that urban Indian family has going through a change. We were traditional institutional family. There is social, cultural, economic, and technological changes that we have seen in the last 20 years, which has placed a lot of stress on family system. So now we have moved to not just nuclear family, I would call it a psychological nuclear family, because we are not really nuclear. For many reasons, we are all very connected. We can still come back. So psychologically, we are nuclear. So for the sake of reason and convenience, for sake of reason and convenience, we are connected. So we have kind of moved from traditional institutional family structure to psychological nuclear family. Now, today we have the joint family, the nuclear family, the plural families, the disparate family, basically different ideologies, we are all living together. So different kinds of family system we are able to see today. And in that, some of the issues that has come up as a result of these different family system. The first is the dual career families, where both spouses today are earning. We had very set pattern of husband earning and the wife, taking care of the house or children. But now with dual career families, there is an increase in maternal depression, unintentional abuse and violence have increased. There are a lot of workplace relationships, work, family spillover, and vice versa. Many of them, bring back work to home. Adaptive patterns are affected due to poor social support system. They are not able to move into this new system because they don't have the help that they used to have earlier in a traditional institutional family. So these realities have caused a lot of stress and strain. And I'm sure some of us who are sitting here are going through this. This is the issue that has come when both spouses have started earning. Then there is the single parent families. Now, single parents not necessarily because one spouse is dead or divorced, but some of them are because have become single parents because one partner is out in the Gulf or some other place, and the whole parenting role is taken by one partner. The stress is higher. They have to play multiple roles. There is role strain. Mental health outcomes in form of anxiety and depression, accompanies these role strains. And children and spouse getting used to independence. In fact, this couple was, this lady was telling us, when her husband comes back from America once a year to be with the family because he's earning money there and he's sending money here and he has a good job there. And she was telling, whenever he comes, it takes a lot of energy for us to adapt to his coming. We are not able to manage this change. So they have to really struggle through those weeks that he's here. And in fact, she said, to be honest, we really wish he goes back. Now look at the kind of things that is happening. He's out there, doing everything for his family, but this is how, the repercussion of it is. And children's discipline is affected. In fact, this lady was telling us her husband was working with a Christian ministry, but he is posted somewhere else. He said, children keep asking mom, when is daddy going? When is daddy going? Because they can't handle him when he comes for a short time or during the weekends, or if he stays back for a long weekend. Post-divorce families, now they go through the shame of divorce, or they feel lonely. They don't want to associate in social settings because they're scared that people are going to ask them, what about, where's your husband, or where's your wife? So because of that, they just like to keep away. Less socializing, scared to socialize actually, because they'd have to explain this everywhere. Vulnerable to others. Now, they become easy prey. They are, they are sometimes not empowered to handle life alone. Adjustment to the new life. Emotional needs not addressed. And serial families ending in separation. Before they get over their grief of divorce, they are already married to somebody else. So they take this baggage there, and this carries on some time. And second and third is now becoming popular. Somebody said Shadi.com was popular. Now the most popular one is secondshadi.com. So things have changed. Blended families, because there are no more marriages now happening between divorced couples, or because one spouse died and then they're getting married. Now many new adjustments. Those days we used to make fun, saying in America it is your family and my family playing with my children and your children playing with our children. Now this used to be a joke that we used to say. In America, that's the way it is. It's no more a joke now. It is very much here. Now, many adjustments, acceptance of children. Over the last 20 years, we had to change some of the things that we regularly, traditionally did. In all our conferences, we usually ask people to identify who's the youngest couple, who's the oldest couple. Now I'm really scared to ask that. Because when I asked in one of the conferences who's the youngest couple, the most oldest couple stood up by looks. I didn't know how to respond. I said, not young at heart. But they were standing and smiling and said, we just got married. Because both of them just went through a second marriage. Now, I didn't realize that. So our old traditional way of looking at young couples, old couples, now I don't even start with that. So things have changed, so there are issues that, we have to address and be sensitive to. There are trust issues, whether my partner will take care of my children, or is he getting married to me only because of me and not my children? These are real struggles that families are going through. New realities to be accepted by the children. In many cases, yes, they have got married, but children have not accepted each other. Their stepfather and mother. So these are new realities that we in India are today facing. Of course, never married families and cohabitation. This is also becoming popular. No commitment. They believe that, this is just a piece of paper, the legal entity. Why? As long as we can stay committed, that's fine. And then they get into kind of live-in relationship. And they live in constant fear, constant lookout. Okay, if somebody is better, or if they'll keep looking out, if their spouse is talking to someone else more, or not the spouse, but with whom they are living in. Lifestyle changes and associated stresses, role ambiguity, boundary ambiguity, how much can they go, how much they need to demand from one another. All these things are confusing to this group of people. And by the way, these group of people are now within the church. If we think they are not, they are very much there. I happened to lead a Bible study in a place, and and I was surprised that they were sitting, and I thought they are couples. And then the pastor told me, actually, no, they've been like this for many years, but they are not married. So pastor doesn't know how to handle this. So he's been slowly encouraging them to get married. Now these are realities that we are moving into. Other realities, sexual experiencing and experiments have changed. Greater period of being alone during sexually active years have caused a lot of concerns, and people are getting sexually active very early. And age of marriage is delayed. We had 18 and 21, or 21 and 24, 24 and 28. Now those things are no more really a kind of a bar that you can put. They decide when they want to get married or they don't want to get married. Now virtual relationship is on the increase because there is so much of connections and relationship that is going on virtually. Long hours of work and office relationship. So those are things that are going on, and the BPO here has a lot of horror stories of toilets getting blocked because of condoms in the toilets. Time spent on gadgets and social medias is on the increase, and this has become definitely an area of concern that needs to be addressed. And there is no time for vital relationships. Our time is spread to so many people who doesn't matter, by the highs and buys and so many other things that we are continuously engaged in. We don't have time for the vital relationship that we need to spend time for. Divorce, of course, has become a common word among young families. Rise in divorce is a healthy sign, says some psychotherapists today. It's a good society will have a lot of divorces because, people are free to make their choices. So the whole philosophy is changing, and the way people are thinking about it is different. And we can kind of see some statistics about the exponential rise in divorce, divorce percentage-wise, India will still be very less, but the exponential rise is of concern. 350% rise. And the kind of increase where divorce was a rarity to where this is becoming a big crisis, that family courts are continuously being opened in different parts of the metros, in all the major metros. In 2010 alone, there was this increase of 70% in divorce cases in the country worldwide, in the countrywide. And most cases is between the age group of 25 to 35 years of age. In 2016, Kerala and UP tops the country in divorce. 5 cases are adjudged every hour. So every 1 hour, there's 5 cases that are adjudged. Abortions, I don't need to explain more about it because it's legal. We kind of see maximum, abortions that are reported, and most abortions are not reported today, and most abortion-related maternal deaths are attributable to illegal abortions. Suicides, it was already mentioned by Bishop. Research say that out of every 3 cases of suicide reported every 15 minutes in India, 1 is committed by youth in the age group of 15 to 29. And the interesting thing is, most suicides in India is because of family issues. In the West, suicides are often associated with mental health. But in India, suicides are more associated with family issues. We all went through this verdict of the Supreme Court of scrapping IPC 377. I'm not intentional to discuss about it more here, but I just want you to know there is a lot of ramification that we will have to face. I'm not saying they have to be criminalized or whatever, but that is going to kind of definitely have a lot of ripple effect in our hostels, among our young people, and we as a church need to be ready to face this, because here are, their voices are more heard where they're saying heterosexuality is not normal, it is only common. Okay, so if you think your heterosexuality is the right way, it's not normal, it's only common. So that's the kind of philosophy that has been taught. Abuse in homes. There are big rise in rape cases, which is being reported. Now, murders within the family. Earlier, we never, found this husband killing wife, wife killing husband, but now conflicts is entering into murdering of husband and wife, murdering of children, or children being murdered by the parents, all kind of issues that we are beginning to hear, and slowly we become normal to it, and this will become very common. Domestic violence and abuse, physical and emotional abuse, rape and sexual abuse, child abuse, and to name a few. The kind of addictions that we are talking about is no more alcohol addiction and drug addiction, which was popularly known, but of course those things continue. Rehabilitation centers are continuing to mushroom, but we have new addictions: cyber addiction, materialistic addiction, TV addiction, gaming addiction, pornographic addiction, work addiction. I even added gym addiction. Everywhere now there is health conscious people everywhere. So it's almost becoming very addictive. Gym addiction, social media addiction, you name it. There is a lot of people getting addicted to so many things, and they have enough time for these things. Spirituality is coming in new forms, in new shape, deep religious polarization that we are beginning to see. Hindu is becoming stronger, Christian is becoming stronger, Muslim is becoming more stronger, and this unity and working together as a community, all that is diminishing, and we are becoming very, very deeply polarized, and ideological differences are kind of really dividing us, even within the home. New Age gurus and syncretism, revival and aggression of religions that we are being able to see. And this is a country of gurus, and every time we have a new guru coming up and becoming famous, and he seems to be everywhere. He seems to be everywhere in every sphere, into corporates, into all the media. So his words are God's word, and they are checking out on him on every issue. Now, this is kind of becoming a very popular thing. There's a search for new spirituality, long hours of meditation and yoga, and many, many IT giants and heads and people who are engaged in technology are behind these gurus, helping them out. Health and wealth gospel, on the other hand, is also kind of, destroying the core message of Christianity. So we kind of seeing it's all spiritual stuff, but all misleading people in different direction and causing more trouble than helping people or helping families. Rise in sickness and disease, rise in family deaths, rise in disabled children, rise in mental illness, rise in depression, rise in remarried families, rise in trafficking, rise in homeless and street children, you name it. Nothing seems to be on a reducing factor. It is all on the increase. And of course, a lot of ministries are coming up to help the situation. We praise God for that. But I'm just kind of giving a bird's eye view of what is happening. There's a rapid change in value system. Values are becoming valueless. Discipline is sometimes termed as abuse. Media is dictating values to us, and all kind of live-in, premarital, extramarital, no more a big issue. I mean, recently, I do not know how many of you watched this. This Sadhguru was asked this question, by JNU. The JNU University was asking Sadhguru this question: what do you think about extramarital and premarital? You think is that a real issue today? I mean, don't we need to be in the liberalized community be more tolerant to these things, or is that an issue at all? I was really listening to see what he would say. Sadly, there was no concrete answer for that. He's saying, yeah, people's urges, if it is not controlled in the right way, it will keep going and it will keep happening and, just going around the bush. And we are so, everybody says, oh, what a great philosophy. From every angle, these things are encouraged in such measure. And unless and otherwise, we really take note of this. It's our generation, our children, who's going to be attacked more. And it's going to be a big issue that we have to really handle. Money is valued than motherhood, career over family. It's rights more than the roles that each one has to, accomplish. Super kids wanting only to win, making every children super kids. So these are the kind of trends, I'm just kind of placing the trends that we are seeing in this nation. Now the big question is, how are the Christian families doing in general? Are they doing better than this? Or are you saying, no, this is all problem of the outside community, or maybe even Western, not Indian, and even if it's Indian, it's not affecting the church? Would we say that?